Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop for this aggravating adventure of gear door fixing action. Get my head. Now, these two are the easy ones. You know, I've never really, a lot of these gear doors you get have these little flanges like this, but I've tried gluing hinges to there first, and it's just never worked. Okay, now I will say one thing, they did work on these doors. Okay, but these are kind of oddball setups, you know, and it didn't work on these here, and it sure didn't work on this front, but that was a whole different deal. Remember that wood I put in there? Okay, these are going to have to come out. I got to redo them. It spread them. You know, when I glued that in there, you know, that was the factory piece. This one here. This was the factory piece. Okay, I did have to do a little bit of sanding back there, but when I put that in there, I made sure it didn't move the fiberglass. You know, and sure enough, these things were spread wide open. And this was way too small. Now it still is a little bit, but what I'm going to do when I glue these hinges, I'm going to tape all this down. I'm going to tape that, I'm going to install that hinge just like that, and on the door, and put some tape across there, and I ain't going to pull that tape off till I get that bulkhead fit. And hopefully it should work. But I gotta cut a new one because I gotta grind on these so much. It's gonna make this real thin, and it won't be able to screw in there. But yeah, I gotta pop them off and them deals and grind that high saw down and everything. But that's alright, no big deal. I don't know, I might be able to leave that part in there. Just make that wood fit. I don't know. But anyway, I got a good idea on how I'm going to do these. Because I want these to be a perfect contour. So far they are, except for this one here is hanging down a little bit. Bam, ain't no more. Now all these come with a flange on it, so you got to sand that off to there. Okay, and you got to be real careful doing it, because you can't glue sawdust back on. Okay, but I got them fit just how I want them. Now, you got to come over here on the flat piece of board. I mean, flat board right here. We got to sand these edges because they have not been peel plied. We're all fiberglass edge. Boards need sanded. But the first F-18 I built, the first one of these, was back in the ducted fan days. That was a long time ago, man. But this was all you got for gear doors. That's all you got. I made some liners out of this SIG stuff. You soaked it down with lacquer thinner, and you did contour. Remember that stuff, guys? It was kind of a little bit heavy, but sure made nice liners. Okay, now, how am I going to do this? Because I want these holes, I want these screws on this side of the gear door. That'll make them things to where you'll have to tear stuff up to replace them hinges, and we don't want to do that. You know, so I gotta take them screws out. But it's holding them right where I want to. So what I think what I'm going to do, guys, check this out. This is going to make it kind of a long process to do. But in the long run, I think it'll work out a lot better. So it's okay. I'm going to remove these screws, just the top ones. Because I don't want to mess the alignment of these screws. If I take it all the way off and glue them things back on, it just, I want everything to line up perfect. So, in order to do that, I'm going to remove just the inside ones. Okay? Now I'm just going to glue this lip. Okay, once that sets up, I can lift this up, take the screws out, and glue the rest of it. Now I know what you're thinking is I'll clamp that with my little clamps when I fold this up, these corners up. Okay. Now, after you sand that, guys, you got to clean it. I've got some alcohol on this rag. Make sure you clean the dust off so we get a really good glue joint. Okay. Now I'm going to take my high saw. Just going to put a little bit out there. Mix it. Old school style. Take a acid epoxy brush. You're gotta be careful not to get too much epoxy oozing everywhere. And it's gonna be tomorrow, I think, before I could actually get these screws out. But if I get half of them all done today, I'll be a happy camper. Okay, I don't want to glue about that for. See, then I can actually get this epoxy brush in here, because, you know, on that strip too. Now, I can come around, is that the right? Nope, that's that door. What did I do with it? I just had it. I'm terrible about that. Here it is. I'm going to put it in place. You know what? The epoxy's awful thin. Let's just guide coat this too. Make sure we get a good bond. What we're going to do is get this skin coat. That'll give us a really good glue joint right there, baby. Okay. You guys seeing this? in that. And now, come up here with a piece of tape. Make sure I got that dude just where I want it. Like so. Beautiful. Now, see, I come in here, tape this down. I'll do the other side and put a piece over the whole top. And come in here from the bottom. I'll probably use my metal tape. I was already thinking about that when I tape all these together. Okay. Same thing over here. We don't want to over glue it, but we want a super good glue joint. Especially this back side, we don't want a bunch just oozing out, you know. We end up gluing it all together. You don't want that. Okay, now we're going to skim coat this, make sure we get the right side. Well, this has been sanded. You don't have to just really gush that epoxy on there to get a good glue joint. You gotta get enough, but you don't have to be gushing out everywhere. If it's prepped right, it's done right. Yes. Thicken this corner. Okay, I got the fix for that. Just a little bit of bagging film. I don't want to put a whole bunch of bagging film on it because I got to be able to tape it down. We just need a little bit where that corner's going to be. Okay, right there. That's beautiful, man. That's just beautiful. This back one, I know you're saying I didn't take all the screws out of it, but all the screws ain't in it. Plus this back one's bigger. I can get it out. I've already scoped that out. Okay, that's just beautiful right there. I can live with that. I'm going to have to fill that back edge a little bit, but